everyone. Welcome to Get Ready with me, Louise. From afar, it don't look bad. And as I was sitting here doing my makeup, I thought it looked good. But you know how then you get up close and it's not so good? That's where we're at. But we're going with it. Because I was thinking, we're looking good. And from back here, not bad. Up close, no. And I used a couple of new things. So that could be it. So, well, not new, but hadn't used them in a while. And that should probably be the dead giveaway, but it isn't. So let's get started. We're doing Valentine's Day past. And I will say that the eye look wasn't exactly where we were going. Or where I was going, but this is where I ended. Not bad. Although, not where I was going, obviously. Red, red, red. You get where I was going. But that's not where we went. And that's because the palette wasn't going to allow me to do such a thing. So for bronzer, let's get started with face 2. For face, I'm wearing the number 7 foundation. Protect and Perfect all-in-one foundation. I don't know what shade I even... Oh. Warm beige. And I kind of like it from afar. And it has SPF in it of 50 plus. And I will say that I kind of used that amount on my face, and it blended nicely into the skin. So I think for an SPF foundation, this is very nice actually. And it doesn't feel heavy. It kind of does look heavy. But I pat it out where it's sunk into the lines. But overall, for the sunscreen protection and all that and the way it feels, kind of like it. Like I'm willing to live with the patting out for the benefits of it, if you get what I'm saying. So not bad. For concealer, I put the NYX Bear With Me concealer on in light. And then I set the under eye. And I think that the Kosas is what's getting me all the time for under the eye. I liked it, I thought, but uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did that just come out? I think it did. Hold on, y'all. It broke. Oh, no. It broke. Well, maybe it is saying. Anyway, it's in Breezy. And I just don't think it sets under the eyes good. I've tried it with a puff, with a brush, and maybe it's just not mixing well with the concealers. I don't know. There's some days where I think, okay, and then there are the other days, like today, where I'm like, no. So there's that. The rest of my face, I actually just set with a powdered foundation that I hadn't used in a while. And it's well, I guess that's a foundation, is it? Hold on. Yeah, the Bare Minerals Bare Pro in Light 22 Cool. So I set with it. I just put it on a brush and, set with it for the rest of the face. I don't know why that broke. Okay, then for bronzer, I'm using the Makeup Revolution. So, and it's called the Revolution Ultra Bronze. This one. And I was using the Wet n Wild, and I said it had like a shimmery finish to it. Now this isn't. This is like a matte, but it doesn't have shimmer. It's more sheer, I guess. I don't know how to explain that. But I think what it is I do like a matte bronzer. I think that's where I'm at with it now. And kind of with blush the same way. Although, there's days where with blush I do want more of a sheen or a shimmer. But for the most part, I think it just looks better matte. And that's fine. But for bronzer, I kind of always want a matte. I've come to notice that. Because I like even the Hourglass, but there is a sheen to it. Although, blended out and stuff, it's pretty. I still think I prefer a matte bronzer altogether. But for blush and highlighter, I pulled out the Violet Voss, the Bubbly Blush Palette again in Bellini. Except today, I'm using Rossini, and Prosecco. So I'm using the more pinky one, and then there's only one highlight. Yesterday I used the Cheeky Bellini. So I like this palette. It's 3 matte blushes with, 3 different colors that are useful for 3 different kinds of looks that you're doing. And then a highlighter that works with all 3. I really like it. And I love the fact that I got it for like $10, maybe $12 off of Ulta. So, go me. But for the palette today, we are using, oh, there it is, the Valentine's Day, I guess, past Violet Voss in I Love You Cherry Much. I even found my cherry earrings. They were put up for summer, but I found them. Oh, for lips, I'm using the Natasha Denona lip liner in Renee. And then I went back to my Cake Pop sugar coat thing, the sister brand to Tarte Sugar Rush sugar coat, and it's in Cake Pop. I'm repeating myself now, but I think those 2 colors mixed together just give a nice ombre look almost. And that formula is so nice on the lips. It's not transfer proof, but it's matte with a satin feel to where your lips aren't, it's not necessarily sucking the life out of them. And I will say though, no matter what lipstick I've come to use, before I apply my lips look so moisturized and plump. And then as soon as I apply the lipstick, like I can apply the liner and it's fine. But as soon as I apply any lip product, it just starts, like my lips start to get smaller and smaller, and I don't get it. I really don't. I feel like I'm dehydrated, y'all. So that's my lips. And today for the lip, look, I am almost done. Like I have the teeniest, tiniest amount at the bottom here of this MAC Plenty of Pout Plumpy Lip Gloss. It does say lip gloss, but I actually use it as my like lip product while I'm doing the rest of my makeup. And it's like a minty feel, but it just feels nice on your lips. And like I said, it gives your lips, it soaks in. Like you can feel it soaking in. So now to the palette. This is what it looks like. I Love You Cherry Much. And if you look at it, I don't know what you say. I do like it. I do. I think it's because the look didn't go the way I thought it was going to go today is why it's just throwing me off. Because I really thought this was going to go... I mean, it makes sense. Cherries aren't necessarily red. They're more like a reddy, purpley color in a way. But I don't know why I thought it was going to be red. But here we are. And it isn't. So let's get started on this. And the first shade I used was Amore, which is this color here. And again, it's more like, it's a little bit darker actually than Soft Ochre, the paint pot. Just a little bit. So it does put a little bit of color on the lid if you do set your eye with it, if you're my skin tone. But it's pretty darn close to skin tone. So then the next shade I went into is Too Cute, which is this one right here. And it's like a pinky color. And I am using my Rephr brushes. And I will say, I'm glad I pulled this one out because the last time I did think about this palette when Tom Ford released his those cherry quad eye shadows, and I was almost tempted to get them. And then I was like, no, I have this. And I have the Naked Cherry by Urban Decay, which I haven't played with in a long time. I need to get that out, actually. But and it does kind of remind me of Valentine's Day in a way. So does Naked Heat, depending on, what you're liking, but it's not very Valentine's Day, themed or anything. But the color story could Obviously, this gives you more options than the Urban Decay Naked Cherry, but depending on the formula and what you like, if you got one, you might not need the other. I don't even know if the Naked Cherry is still available, actually. They discontinue so much anymore, everybody does. It's like in with the new, out with the old. And you can't even, like, you can't really do looks for people anymore. Because it's like not everybody has the palette, and you don't want to do a look with a palette that people can't get. It's like a circle. And that's why I'm really getting tired of these limited edition things. I get it if it's a holiday or something, Christmas time, I get it. But through the rest of the year, if you're launching stuff, like, to me, I feel like it should be a permanent thing, unless there's unless there's a reason, obviously. But I don't even know if Violet Voss is still in business, to be fair. I haven't heard anything really. We're going to go into this color right here, Juicy, and I'm going to start to darken it up. And I will say these shades are pigmented, and I do like the formula, I do. I do think I like Viseart better because they're just a little bit easier and more forgiving for a beginner. But this isn't like that far off either. So let me, be very clear. There is a difference, but it's not like that far-fetched. Except for, I will say, for the majority, Viseart's mattes are better, but depending on what you like for shimmers, Violet Voss may have better shimmer metallic shades. They're more oomph in your face, where Viseart's more elegant looking, more softer. So it really just depends on what type of look you're going for. What you feel the most comfortable using and wearing. And the funny thing is that I don't know why I'm so obsessed with eyeshadows. Because generally, from my understanding, like, you kind of, like, you always have this one, like, thing that you like about yourself, right? So from my understanding, at least I do. And I would say the one thing that I like about myself, technically, is my lips. Now, since I was in a car accident young, my lip had actually went through my tooth, or my tooth went through my lip, but up here in the cupid bow area, it was like, it went through my front. Yeah, it was a mess. Had to have stitches, and you can technically see it still a little bit, the stitches where they were, and it kind of has like distorted my lips. But my lips have been fairly full, my whole life. Like, to where I like them, They're not, like, I don't want them bigger or anything like that, but even, sure. But anyway, anywho, you would think, because I do like my lips, and I've always liked my lips, that I would love, like, lip liners and lipsticks. It's just not the case. But see, I always liked my lips, but if I got compliments, it was always because of my eyes. Because my eyes are green, and then they're almost like a cat eye in a way. And depending on how the light hits it, it really can, like, you can really see it. So maybe that's why, because I hear it, so in my brain it registers, and that's why I like eyeshadow. Even though me personally, I like my lips. I don't know. We're going to go into shade Wild Cherry. And I am going to tap that off though. And then we're going to run it under the lower lash line. Also, I used the Charlotte Tilbury, the eye kohl pencil in the nude and black. And I put the nude all over the water line. I feel like there's a hair. Oh, I got an update though. So I have bought, because I'm influenced like everybody. We're these influencers are influenced too, but I'm influenced very easily because it doesn't take much, right? Anywho, I bought. If you ever noticed a lot of people using that It Cosmetic, I think it's the number 7 brush, right? Where it's like a bigger, like a foundation and a concealer brush on two different ends. Y'all, mm-mm. It is shedding on me. The foundation side, not the concealer side. Concealer side seems to be fine, although I don't like it in the way it lays down the concealer. I like the foundation brush part of it to lay down foundation, but it sheds. And I don't mean like it's the first time or second or third. No, 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 no. Every single time it sheds. Every time. More and more bristles are coming out of this thing. To the point of like, I kind of just want to keep using it every day to see how long it'll last. As in, will it stop shedding or will I just lose all the bristles type of thing? Like, I don't know which way it's going to go. So, yeah. So, we're there. And I will say that that thing is not cheap either. At all. We're going to go into Berry Sweet now. And we're going to darken up that outer corner. Well, let me rephrase that. I thought I was darkening it up, but really I'm brightening it up because this is much brighter than the other two shades I'd lay down, but it is darker at the same time. It's so weird. But it is what it is. But that's what we're doing right now, to the best of my ability. Which isn't that good, but hey, who's I'm the one that has to wear the look, you know? But do you see how, like, that looks so dark in the pan? Does it not? And, like, I'm picking it up. I'm not even going to tap it off this time. And I'm just going to pat it down. It's almost like you can't blend it out because then it blends out to be like a brighter pop than it does depth. I mean, it's still giving depth because it is. But I don't know. Sorry, guys. I don't know how close that sounds in the microphone. Hopefully, it's not too bad. Alright. So, this is where it kind of went off track at what I was doing, but still yet trying to make it work. Because I just thought it was going to be more grungier, I guess, than what it is. Going back into that juicy shade. I like the juicy shade though. And maybe it's because it's more warm tone. I don't know. Alright, now we're going to pick up the shade Dreamy. Which, to be fair, here I did not realize was going to be the shade. Why is it Chanel? What? Come here. Come here. No, what my girl doing? Your tail's gonna knock everything over. Will you lay down? If you lay down, you can stay. If not, your tail's gonna knock it all over. I know. There we go. That's a girl. That's my girl. I swear this cat sheds all the time. And I get that she probably should be shedding now. Hold on. I'm going to need a mirror. But she's on my lap, so we're using this one. At least it has a nice mirror in it, too. Anyway, she sheds all the time. Like, winter, she was shedding all through winter. And I'm like, ma'am, aren't you going to be needing that coat? I've just never seen a cat shed like she does. I will say I'm so glad she doesn't go in heat as much as she used to. Because I didn't even think that was possible. Although she irritates me to no end. And ma'am, she loves to eat my brushes, especially like my real natural hair brushes. Like my Raffer, my Sonia G, my Wayne Goss. She loves to eat those. It's like she's fighting with them. And it's so funny to watch her because I'm like, what are you doing? They're just brushes. Like, I don't know if she can smell like an animal it came from, maybe. I don't know. It is so weird to watch her, though. What is it, baby? We're going to take the shade Affection. Which, hi, baby. Which is this shade right here. But at the same time, I will say she is my best friend. She's become definitely part of the family. I mean, she's been part of the family, but I guess she's really become my best friend. I mean, she's technically my cat plus my daughter's. And I'm like, look, if you move out, that's fine. But the cat don't go. But the cat has her personality. It's so funny. Because cat has my daughter's personality. Like, you can tell. But, like, if you had to go, well, whose cat is she? Like, she'll always come to me. Like, she sleeps with me. I can't even sleep if she's not in the bed. I'm like, where is she at? That's not normal if she's not on me. And in the middle of the night, if I disturb her by moving, she cries. She's like a baby. She's like a baby. Yes, she is. Now, she doesn't like the babies, though. I will say that, too. She swats at them. Although, can you blame her? Because you can kind of imagine what she does to the babies do to her, too. So, we're going to take this color right here, this chocolate cherry color. And I'm going to line the top lash line and lower lash line with it. Chanel, honey, you're going to make me poke my eye out. The other day, I was getting these palettes out of a storage container. I know, right? That's crazy to say. But I was getting it out of a storage container here in my room. And I was kind of bent over reaching for like these and my Tarte palettes because I feel like they're safer in there. So I keep them in that, right? Kids can't get to them. But anyway, I bent over to reach and I was down, and my back was flat. She jumped right up on my back. So if I go to stand, she's clawing me. You know she is. She knows she is. And I had to stand there and call for help until my daughter heard me and come in and started laughing. She got her. And she was like, what are you going to do if nobody answered? I said, I don't know. I was thinking about how I could slowly lay down on the bed, flip over. In an beached whale situation. I don't know exactly where my thought was going. I was like, but I knew somebody was home, so that's why I just called for y'all. And she jumped down finally. Thank you. But I was like, whatever. I was like, I wasn't about to just stand up straight, knowing she was going to put her claws and go straight down my back. No, thank you. But yeah, she thinks she's funny. Oh, she was making herself at home too on my back. Like, by the time my daughter came, she had walked up and down me and then circled, because this is what she does, and then lays down. She was already laying down by the time my daughter got there. On my back. I was like, you pain in the butt. I'm like, how do you think this is going to... And then it just cracks me up thinking about it, because I'm like, how did she think that was going to work? How did that cat think? But then I'm like, oh, she's not thinking because she doesn't care. She's a cat. That's the way cats are. They have their personalities, you know? But yeah, so that was a fun day. At least I didn't get scratched. I've learned. Alright. So I think I got everything aligned. I do like this shade, chocolate cherry. It's a nice dark brown. More of a, I guess it does kind of have like a reddish tint to it in a way, or not red even, more purple, I think. Yeah. But it's very pretty. And this palette goes from light to dark. I don't think it is still available, but if it is, it's cute. I don't necessarily think, like, I would keep this palette over the I Rushed You. Is that what that one was? Yeah, I Rushed You. Just because this is more my color story than I Rushed You. And I feel like these metallics are better too, to be fair. Because the metallics in the other palette was very dry, and these are not. These feel very creamy and buttery, and they look it. But the other one definitely had like glitter and stuff in them, and I think that's what made them dry. Where this just, you know. And it looks fine on the lid. I will say that too. But I think Visearts, and it could be because they're not as metallic, Visearts just like lay nicer, like it doesn't enhance anything or any, I don't know. It's just different. Both brands are just different depending on what you like. But the other thing is Viseart is still in business, and I don't know if Violet Voss is. I'm looking through. I got to look through my Viseart palettes because I like to play with them. But I don't know if there's anything that's like based upon Valentine's Day or love in it. And if there's not, it's like, well, what's my interpretation of Valentine's Day? And I was going to use that to do a look with a Viseart palette. And then I thought about kind of making my own Valentine's Day palette with like an empty palette, as empty Z palette, and using the Makeup Geek shadows because I have them. That way I can use them again. But again, you can use any kind of shadow that you have on hand. If you have single shadows, it doesn't necessarily have to be Makeup Geek, or maybe a palette even. I'm using the Lancome primer today to give it a whirl. I don't, well, yeah, I do think the primers do something. I do think they kind of make the lashes like last longer, and to be fair, I think it even helps them not to flake. But I also think that primers can be a little more heavy because it's another layer, and if you are having issues holding a curl, I don't think it necessarily helps you with that part, because I think that the weight over time is going to bring your curl down. But on the flip side of that, it could make it hold it a little longer than you have to. Now I don't wear waterproof mascara because I don't want to damage my lashes. I am using a lash serum and working really hard to get them back, and there are gaps, as you can see, in my lashes on this side. This side, it actually seems to be doing really well at growing the lashes. I don't know, but it does seem to be doing well. I mean, this side's doing well too, but this side's doing better. But I don't know if the lash serum hurt you either. So I've heard so many different stories that I'm like, yeah, I want lashes. my, my mom said something to me because I won't wear my glasses to see. I just won't wear them. And I was like, I'm not messing up my makeup. I'm not getting the imprint right here and here. And I'm like, well, heck, I'm using this serum on my lashes that can make me go blind anyway, probably. So I won't need glasses at that point. But I won't wear my glasses if I've got like a full face on because I don't want to ruin my makeup. I know. It's ridiculous. I get it. I get it. I'm with you on it. But if I spent all day doing this, I ain't messing it up on purpose. That's just crazy. Anyway, I'm going to use the Lancome Tint Adul, I believe is how you say it, mascara for the top lashes. It does have a spiky wand. Let me let you know that now. And I do think that if you hit yourself with this, it's going to hurt. Because it is quite spiky. However, I have not hit myself yet with it. I'm sure within the next minute I will. But I have not yet. And I may not have let that lash primer dry correctly. Because it's starting to stick together, and usually that don't happen. I do like the Tint Adult mascara, by the way. And again, not one of my favorites, but it is a good mascara. Well, I mean, I guess it is one of my favorites, but it's not like the favorite, you know what I mean? It definitely separates and gives length. And I love it for the separation. It's just like the Gucci. I love the Gucci for the separation and length that it gives. But at the same time, from my understanding, you can get drugstore. Like, this is a category not to go high end on. But I don't know about that. Obviously, there's times that you are just paying for a name, but there's also times that you're paying for the formula. I think and feel. I don't know how much science backs me up on that, but just my opinion. And again, experience, all that stuff plays a part in purchasing. And I just don't buy that much high end, to be honest. Like, other than my makeup and my thought process, the only reason I was buying the high end was because I wanted the makeup to do the work for me. And with like fashion and stuff, you're paying for a name. I mean, maybe the design too, but like, I don't know. I'm not a big fashion person. Give me a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, or a pair of leggings and a nice tunic or something, you know, a long sweater or a sweatshirt even. Like, that's my type of, because I'm on the go. I mean, I do like dress pants though too. Like, I'm not just although I do like sweatpants, dress pants, sweatpants. I mean, kind of like it all. I don't like dresses anymore, but I think that's because, and I used to, I love to wear dresses. Um, but since I had my car accident, I really messed up my knees real bad. So, A, I put on a lot of weight, so dresses ain't looking that good on me. And B, you can if you can see my knees, like my knees are so swollen and stuff now that I don't like the look of it. And then if I'm going to wear a dress, I want to wear heels, right? And again, since the car accident, I just can't wear the heels because like my feet are like from my knee swells, then my ankle swell, then my feet swell, you know, type of thing. And I know that if I got back on a diet and exercised, it would go down some. But we ain't there yet. We're still working through stuff. So yeah, I'm not really into dresses at this point, in this chapter of my life. But I once was. And high heel shoes or boots with a heel, loved them. Just loved them. And I think a lot of that was because I am so tall. I'm 5'11", and most of my partners were shorter, than me, that I dated. So I couldn't really wear heels because I felt awkward against it. Like, you're then taller than your partner, and I didn't like it. But then my current fiance is still shorter than me. But he just encouraged it. There are times he's decent. But he encouraged it. He didn't care how much taller I was to him. Didn't bother him in the slightest, so I wore them. But, I used the Cali Ray on the lower lash line. So, this is the final look using the I Love You Cherry Much palette. It's a cute palette. I think you can create a lot of pretty looks out of it, and I have created quite a few looks out of this. You can definitely go more pinky purple. You can definitely go neutral. You can go more, like, I guess more berry really than pinky. And then, of course, the neutral. But then you do have like a taupey shade for your lid. Of course, you got this shade. You have like a gold shade. Hey, you can't do that bad. She just ate the plastic. You don't do that. That goes to my palette. I gotta put that back in there. Now look what you done. You put holes in it. So, I mean, there definitely are different routes to go, I guess you could say, in this palette to get different looks. But, I mean, if you have it, let me know what you think about it. I'm trying to think of all Viseart's palettes that I do have. And I probably would say that this is one of my favorite ones that they have released. They do have some smaller ones I like. But this is one of the ones that I would say would be in my probably top 3 by them that I have. But I don't have that many either, so. But that is all I have for you today using the Violet Boss I Love You Cherry Much. I'll get it eventually. I would say I needed help knowing what that means, but I'm assuming it means I love you very much. Just saying, unlike the other one that I'm lost on. I don't know what I rushed you is. I still don't know. I need help. But that is all I have for you today. Wait, this doesn't even go to this palette. What palette does this go to? Oh, it goes to this palette. The I Rushed You. Look at that cat. Such a bad cat. This one goes to the I Cherry You very much. Really, in all honesty, if there was something I would recommend by them, I would go with the blush palette. Just because there are 3 blushes in there that are different. You got a pinky, you got a peachy, and you got a berry, but it's it's just like it's just a good palette for any look you can think of. Like, I don't think there is a look you couldn't pair a blush, if you're my skin tone, with, and then the highlighter works with them all. Highlighter's really pretty, actually. I do enjoy it. But that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you purchased any of these palettes. I'm curious. What palettes do you all have for Valentine's Day? And I will... Oh, if you like this video, get a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, hit all. That way you're notified when I upload. I upload every day but Sunday. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.